Right, I have to close now. So we'll see what come up. So artificial intelligence, BIM, computer, automatic virtual handphone. Yeah, this is interesting. So it become miniaturized. So it's become small. Things are become small, and people are interacting in much more intuitive way. Autonomous, don't know what is it? Maybe autonomous vehicle, smartphone. So all interesting here. So it's next we will see. And from the prominent technology that we have seen before, so in the project we'll look at much more operational level and what kind of things that might be enabling Industry 4.0 technology here. So we identify 7 technology: location tracking and resource positioning, used to know the location of things and workers, because construction is really it's about moving things, about installing things. Yeah, so we need to be able to track the location of things, whether is it material, whether or workers or tools and other kits that is appropriate for construction. And then user interface. So this is where you interact with the systems. So edge device is from edge computing. So it's basically pushing the data processing application and service away from the cloud. Yeah, the cloud. So to the extreme of network. So at operational level. So this improve response time. Yeah, and save bandwidth, reduce data in transition, and also reduce the security threats. Is also enable use case from autonomous, driving, autonomous vehicles to remote asset diagnostics. So edge computing, edge device is very critical. And BIM-led. So BIM-led is BIM data, which is localized in edge device. Yeah. So rather than communicating with the cloud all the time, the BIM model actually stored in the edge device. So this enable reliable, communication, real-time access to BIM data in the edge device. And then rule engine. So it's a rule engine is software, a code which execute business rules based on certain criteria. Yeah, bring together these enablers into producing actionable information. And the last thing and the most important thing is a sensor. This is a smart sensor that enable capture of the data. And this is one of the most critical things. I mean, sensor, can sense the surrounding in terms of humidity, temperatures, shocks, and can transmit. And it has some microprocessor into it, and it has some storage capability, and it can connect with other device. So if a sensor is this one is a sensor, yeah, it's just a small piece of kit that you can attach to components, attached to workers, and be able to transmit information, transmit data to the server, yeah, to the gateway, as you develop it. Okay. And this is system architectures of digital workflow. Basically, we try to tag the component from the factory, yeah, with the sensor, and then track the progress, tracks the transportations from the movement from factories to the site, and then how we can assemble the component in the right place, in the right way, against the other component. And this could be controlled through data center in the clouds, and which communicate with the BIM-led, which is the 3D model on site in the edge device, where you can capture as-built information. So any progress and the location in terms of where and when it happens, it can be captured, and whether the quality meet the requirements of as specified in the BIM model itself. So the reality will not reflect 100% of the model, but there is a process that we can capture through the system architecture that we try to propose here. So so this is technology adoption process map that we developed for the next 10 years. So we have 3 stages, from island of technology, and then the middle one is technology enrichment, and then industry transformation. This is a 10 years time. And the difference is on the top there, really focusing. So I'm not going to discuss on every single detail here because we haven't got time. But really, the top here is, the Internet of Things, the industrial Internet of Things is the key driver of the other bits of technology that presented in the screen here. So in the Internet, in the island of technology, we have an independent device connected to various services in the cloud. And then technology enrichment here, we embed artificial intelligence on the edge device. Yeah, so improving the capability by having artificial intelligence in the edge network. And then for industrial for innovation dynamo here, the industrial transformation here, we'll see that the innovation, yeah, the technology that we embed within the system, including the artificial intelligence that we have on the edge device, will produce self-sustaining innovation and development. This is where automation come as automatic. Yeah, so so you can combine. So the innovator can combine technical advance in other area within the core technology ubiquity. Yeah, so it's producing multiplier effects. So because there is a lack of human intervention here, the system will produce innovation as it by itself. Yeah, so that's describe really enhancing a possibility of what human can do. Yeah. So again, this is it's not a prediction. This is a possible development. So let's look at a few examples here in the cloud. For the cloud system, you have at the moment we have a cloud service model. We have a number of different configuration here in the cloud, and then in the future we have cloud-led. Cloud-led is really cloud with within edge device, yeah, edge device. So you have a capability of processing within the network, within the system, in the location, in the premise. And then in the future will be infrastructure as a service, industry 4.0 or infrastructure of as a contracted service to specific construction project. Yeah. So another example is autonomous automation, scale robots, robot that is sensitive to locations. And then in 5 years time, we have artificial intelligence embedded spatial understandings that will lead to ability to interact with human. Yeah, in 2030. Augmented reality and virtual reality is a major technology as well. So augmented reality can overlay a digital component, digital overlay onto the physical reality. Yeah. So and then with artificial intelligence in the future, in 5 years time, you will be able to wear a helmet that you see how things progress as you have a walkthrough around the site. And in the future, we'll progress to holographic virtual immersions here. Again, with artificial intelligence, that the artificial intelligence will enable more realism. for the walkthrough process to show how the work is performed. Yeah, the work is performed as you see it built in the miniature in front of you, and people can discuss how things can progress. So simulation is very much enhanced here. So let's go back down to our initial idea about adoption. So adoption here, this is a more technology adoption cycle. So this is a socio-logical model that describes adoptions or acceptance of new products according to the psychological characteristics, yeah, group adopters. So this is 2.5% of the population, and early adopters is 13.5% and so forth. Yeah, and if we map against our technology adoption map, we see there is a kind of three waves, yeah, alongside three different phases of our technology adoption map here. So this is an ideal scenario. So at the moment we are in the early adopters of island of Industry 4.0 technology here. So hopefully within 10 years time we come into a network automation here. This is ideal scenario. Whereas if you see the actual reality, it might slightly it might be completely different, because the curve will be stretched because of lack of adoption. And the question now is really how we can accelerate digital transformation. So so my premise here is really looking at how we can enabling digital transformation with regard to firm capability, that is developing dynamic capability, developing new business model supported by the digital technology. Yeah, so and this has to be within agile, supply chain here. So so what is business model? So business model is the rationale how organization create, deliver, and capture value. Example of business model is yeah, Rolls-Royce is engine manufacturing, jet engine manufacturer. Yeah, so adopt power by the hour business model. And another business model is Skype. Yeah, so 90% of the users doesn't pay. Yeah, so in fact, only 10% Skype has been very prosperous. Another business model is Amazon, which enabling feedback from the customers. Yeah, and Amazon has been very prosperous during this COVID lockdown period, and the share increased over 30% between March and June. So another one is Uber or Airbnb. Yeah, that is connecting between provider and purchasers. So this focus on better utilization of existing assets rather than creating new assets. Yeah, so you use Uber, taxi Ubers, in real time. So in construction, how we can adopt digital technology and come up with a new business model. So traditional business model, we have a contracting business model. We know what happened there. So basically, a main big contractor which subcontract most of the work. Yeah, and then we have another model called developer model. So developers make money from keeping the land, yeah, not from the process. So both of them are not really improving the performance. They are not really aligned with the transformation, because that's the traditional one of the things that they do. So if we map against our business model framework, business model element. You see value creation, value delivery, and value captures. And value creations, real-time performance data, data analytics, value delivery in terms of collaboration with supply chains, IoT infrastructures, standards on product and process, and we have a capability in terms of competency in data science and so on, which is supported the delivery. And we come up with three type of business model. First is integrated service that provide integration, one-stop solution. So this is mainly for a major firm, a big contractors. They can integrate, they have resource to do so. And second is a new role as a system integrator, construction and manufacturer managers, or as well as chief information officer. This is very much has been around, but system integrator is something new. So this is not just about somebody who has the technical aspect, who know the technical aspect, but also is somebody who understands the client requirement. Yeah. And the third one is technology as service business model, that is technology mobilization center. So that's really this is the type of business model that we think that might improve the take up of the new technology. So technology sector is IT sector is very fragmented, yeah, very fragmented, and why not come into an umbrella? We call it technology mobilization center that provide technology as a service, yeah. So and that's underpinned by the digital technology and digital enabler that I have described earlier. So you see how things going to work here. We have a control tower, control center, control rooms that going to bring together operation on site. And then we have on-site contractor office, know what happened really in real time, yeah. And this is some of the potential collaborative contracting systems or collaborative contracting approaches that might be adopted, where you have one single entity collaborate and have a contract with one entity within construction project delivery partners there. And this is another example, another mode that one single point can also interact with a number of contractors, small contractors servicing the industry. So this is a paradigm shift, yeah. So I see how traditional project delivery going to shift into a new business model. So from product oriented, we go to performance-based, service-oriented. Process itself is linear, but because of the feedback that we can get from industrial Internet of Things, we have a iterative process. In terms of competency, we move from single to multi. Yeah, and then relationship. We move to collaborations, value creations from individual firm to supply and demand side. In terms of control, because of the feedback, we move from top down to top down and bottom up, and the classifier will be very much different, from mine contractor builder to system integrator. So so I would like to, in the end of my presentation, I would like to thank the support from Transforming Construction Network Plus, for supporting DCON projects. And also this is my team with relevant individual. I'd like to thank Max Siegel, so IT consultant, which has a significant input to the development of the technology adoption map. And acknowledgement to the funders and several industry collaborators in these projects, and also all the participants of the workshops and interview and so forth. So thank you for listening. And this is my email address and my Twitter account. Please do follow me. I'll follow you as well if that's appropriate. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Robbie, for an amazing presentation. Now we will have the question and answer session. And again, participants who wish to ask question, please write down your question in the Zoom chat section using the format name dash origin dash questions. And we have received a few questions. And for the first one is from Mr. Wijaya Santosa. The question is, when you use information system, the most important things is data accuracy and data protection. In your opinion, how can we obtain this condition so that in the future we will be able to use the data correctly without any complaints from others due to data leakage?
Yeah, cybersecurity is very very current at the moment. It's very topical. Yeah, the issue about cybersecurity is, and with the increase of data sharing and the creation of big data in the network, is also there is an increase in security issues and privacy and so forth. And I think it has to go from the regulatory framework that we have. It has to start from there. And what is really, what we're trying to do in the UK, especially, we try to do a lot of, we call it information management framework itself, which also touch on various issues in relation to how we share information and how we can make sure that the information is shared in a safe way. So I guess, as I said before, it's first has to go from, has to start from regulatory framework that we have, and then it will permit into much detail operational level, I guess, because I mean, it's a big question to ask. It's a good question to ask, but I think it has to, the answer will be coming from the top here. And you have to have a specific regulatory framework to allow you to stipulate detail in terms of how you share the information and how you secure the information that you share. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Robbie. I hope that answered Mr. Wijaya questions. And for the next question is from Dr. Riza. The question is, the construction industry is known for its traditional mindset and ways of doing things. What are the success factors or steps to innovate the construction industry in the UK?
Sorry, what is the last sentence you say?
What are the success factors or steps to innovate the construction industry in the UK?
Well, it has to come from leadership. Leadership is main thing, and also being open to what is the possible future disruption. Yeah. So leadership is one thing that has to be there, and also whether we want it or not, there has been a massive change, massive shift in terms of how we are going to build things in the future, how we are going to build our asset in the future. And, we just simply cannot stand still here, because, we have seen, investment firm, Goldman Sachs, for example, have invested in building prefab component factory, in Derby, which is very close to where I live. Yeah. So they already invested in here, and there will be a big boys, yeah, big players such as Google and Amazon, and they will think that we can do it better than you guys in construction, and using our approach. Yeah. So and this is the trend, and I don't want to talk a bit more detail, yeah, but there has been report by, again, McKinsey, and predicting, what kind of venture capital has been invested in the past couple of years, moving to offsite, and I think I didn't include in my slides because at the moment it's already too many. basically a few billion US dollar has been invested in the Apple last 2 years, which has multiplied the amount that has been invested in the last sort of 10 years. So there is definitely a movement towards that sort of agenda, looking at a smarter way of building our assets. Yeah, so the key is really leadership, yeah, leaderships, and also being open to potential opportunity. So otherwise, we have in deep trouble in terms of being overruled by players in other sectors.
Thank you, Dr. Robbie. Another question from Mr. Wijaya Santosa. In your opinion, when can we use augmented reality in construction, and in what construction process?
So augmented reality, I mean, I would imagine that you when you see work in progress, you can walk around the site, and augmented reality will be able to see how things will develop. And because the overlay between a virtual model against your the real physical things that you've seen, and you will be able to see how things will look like. And in fact, with AI embedded within the headset, you will be able to see how things can progress in the next sort of let's say a week time, through 2 weeks time and 3 weeks time. So you can really link between what you have seen in augmented reality with the program, yeah, and how things can develop. So that's a very kind of vivid example of how you can utilize augmented reality. And of course there are other applications, and all of them are useful application. But I think you have to think creatively in terms of what is possible, and there are a lot of possibility that you can do with the existing available technology. It's just what are you going to do it for, and how you can derive most benefit from what you are trying to do for. And this is where how we can sort of facilitate this process, because really technology is expensive. Not just the hardware, but also the software, plus the people that are actually using it, whether they want to use it, and how, to what extent the process has to change as a result of adopting particular technology. And this is what I mentioned before. To enable transformation, you need to have appropriate business model to enable you to do so. And there are 3 potential business model. One is integrations, one-stop shop. Second is changing roles, yeah, in system integrator, and the last one is technology mobilization center. So for those who hasn't got a capability now, they can interact, they can hire the center. And also, how can they consider that within the tender is that's putting additional lump sum, on the use of technology. Yeah. So additional sum in the tender that cover the use of technology, and this should go to technology mobilization center.
Okay, we still have 10 minutes for the question and answer session. And Dr. Robbie, if you want to stop sharing your presentation, you are allowed to, so that maybe the participants can view you clearly when you answer their question.
Yeah.
And we will move on to the next question, another question from Dr. Liza. In terms of the use of big data and Internet of Things, how far has the UK construction industry adopted this practice? Is there any example of best practices currently being implemented?
So yeah, big data. There's been a lot of discussion on the use of big data. It's all success story, I'm afraid. It's not. I don't find any. In my review, I don't find any tangible example for it. Perhaps it's just I'm not covering enough ground on that. But yeah, so it's just a lot of success story and what is possible. I don't have immediate slides to show you example of these things. Yeah. So yeah, I'm afraid I cannot answer this because I've not encountered immediate example that I can show you up in the screen.
Okay, Dr. Rabi, we can move on to the next question. It's from Mr. Wei Fukin. The question is, Dr. Rabi, since there are a lot of young participants in this webinar, maybe you can elaborate what should current Indonesian young engineers do to face this near future big challenge?
So I would think, yeah, we have, I've already, mentioned about possible business models that will be relevant in the future. So one is and new roles, and then technology as a service. So if you can think about in terms of the skill, so you have to think about in terms of what kind of skill that can support integrated services. So you have to have a holistic understanding of the whole process, one thing, and also what's going on, not just in a single discipline, but you know a range of discipline that contribute to the service itself at the end. So the service itself at the end is, for example, providing accommodation for housing association for maybe for 200 families, and this is a service. And how how can you provide this service? And you have to draw back into the upstream in terms of design, in terms of the delivery of the precast or the way the facility is going to build, and also how it is going to be constructed on site, and also in terms of the overall maintenance post-construction. So you got to have this understanding, much wider, much more wider covering of skill that you should know. And I'm not saying that you have to be jack of all trades, but you got to have wider understanding of the whole process itself. And then a second business model talk about new roles. Yeah, so new roles, system integrator. So really also adopt holistic of view about of the whole process, but also looking at what is the customer want, because system integrator is not just about somebody who has understanding about the technical aspect to the work, but also somebody who who understand the client needs, who can interact with the client, how they, and also how you can collaborate within collaborative contracting scheme here. The last business model is technology as a service, technology mobilization center. This is where you have to really consider how IT skill going to be useful. So go back to this question about the big data. You need to understand about data science. and how about data capture and how this data capture is being used. So I guess, if I understand the answer for this, I can set up a new course in digital constructions and be able to offer courses, yeah. So which integrate IT, science, computer science, and construction, and I think this is the way forward. And we need somebody who who work in the sectors, who can understand data and how we can make better use of data. And often people who know construction, who know maintenance, are not people who know about understanding data. And this is something that I think is the way forward. Skill for the future is, one of the things is, computer science, to understand how you manipulate data, how you process data, how you capture data. Yeah. So in conclusion, you have to be open mind and adopt very much, forward looking approach, and be willing to to accept any potential future possibilities that might be thrown up to you. Yeah. So that's my my suggestion.
Okay, we still have 5 minutes for the question and answer session. For those who wish to ask a question regarding building information modeling, you can put your question in the chat column and I will help in reading the question. The next question is from Lendra. What is Dr. Robi's opinion on the role of BIM in encouraging sustainable construction in Indonesia? Where does the adoption step begin if it is integrated with education in the world of civil engineering, especially undergraduate level?
Yeah, well, it's a very big question. So I guess, BIM for me is a new way of working. Yeah. So, new way of working that lay out new possibility. Yeah. And with the expansion of digital ecosystems, there are more things that you can do. And I guess, I'm from the age where, everything is on paper, everything is on drawing. And new generations such as yourself is millennial, and you interacting with digital device, interacting with digital information in different way to us, and it's not, it's completely different way of interacting, and I think it will come naturally as we move on into the next 10 years, where you have a different generation of people. The problem now in education, we still have a lot of teachers that's still working on an old system, and this is something that perhaps I'm one of them. So we need to think about recruiting new younger kind of brilliant faculty that have different approach to digitalization, different approach of new way of working. I mean, we will be, people like me will be phasing out in the next sort of 20 years, and will come new generations, and with this transformation agenda will come through, not just in the UK, but also across the world, because people will understand, how will know that how we can save more money to get more value out of the project delivery. Yeah. So.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Robi, for the answer, the time, and the opportunity in sharing knowledge with us today. That question from Landra is our final question in this question and answer session. But please stay with us for a few moments for a photo session together with the participants. For those who wish to join the photo session, please put your camera on and the committee will take the photo.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I will take a photo right now. I will take it several times, so please hold your pose for a while. I will take it in 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'll take it one more time in 1, 2, 3. I'll take it one more time in 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much.
Once again, thank you, Dr. Robi, and also the participants for their great questions. Now the participants can take a few minutes to fill out a post-test through a link provided by the committee. After this, there will be a door prize from Civil Engineering Department, so I would like to advise all of the participants to stay with us because one of you might be the lucky winner.
I will say thank you for listening and thank you for the organizer for a successful event.
You're welcome, Dr. Ravi.
Yeah.
Now, into the door prize session, we will have 3 winners to each win a 75,000 rupiah over voucher. The committee will draw the winner through participants' registration number. So for those who win the prize, please put your camera and microphone on, tell us your name and university so that we could congratulate you on winning the prize. And after that, shortly, the committee will be in touch with you to send the voucher. Now, please be ready and make sure to remember your registration number. For the first winner, we have number 262. For the participant who has registration number 262, please put on your camera and microphone, tell us your name so that the committee could contact you shortly. Number 262. If the person is absent, we will do another redraw to find a new winner. Okay, it seems like the person who has number of registration of 262 is absent. Now we will do another redraw. Please, the committee. 109, please. Number 109. Would you please put on your microphone and your camera and tell us your name and your origin so that the committee could contact you. Number 109. We will do another redraw if there's an option. Okay, the committee could do another redraw. Number 143. Participant with registration number of 143, please tell us your name and your university. Oh, congratulations, Mr. Filbert, for winning a 75,000 rupiah offer voucher. Please tell us your origin or university, maybe?
I am from Petra Kristen University.
Petra Kristen University. Okay, congratulations, Mr. Filbert. You can now turn off your camera and microphone. Okay, the committee, we will do another draw for the second winner, please. Number of registration of 214. Would you please turn on your camera and your microphone and tell us your name and origin? Still waiting for the person with number of registration of 214. Last call. Okay, we will do another redraw. Please, the committee. 435. Would you please turn on your camera and microphone so that we could know that you're here with us? Another call for 435. Okay, another redraw from the committee it is then. Please, the committee. For our second winner, I hope this one is still here with us. 319. Number 319. The committee could help us. Oh, yes, congratulations. Would you tell us your name and your origin?
My name is Nicholas. I'm from Petra Christian University.
Okay, congratulations, Nicholas, for winning an OVO voucher. It is very unexpected, isn't it? Okay, you may now turn off your camera and microphone, and we will do another draw for our final winner. Please, the committee. Number 348. I hope you're here with us. Another call for number 348. Okay, it seems that he or she is absent, so another redraw. Third winner, 276. Please put on your camera. Oh, yes, congratulations. Please tell us your name and your origin.
My name is Natalis, and I'm from University of Jakarta.
Okay, congratulations, Miss Mar. The committee will contact you shortly and send you the OFO voucher. Okay, congratulations for all of the winner. Now the door prize session is over and the committee will contact you shortly to send you the voucher. And this door prize session is a form of gratitude from the Civil Engineering Department for all of us who could be here to celebrate the anniversary of Civil Engineering Department of Petra Christian University together. And finally, we have reached the end of today's event. Please do not forget to fill out the evaluation form. Thank you for all of the participants for the enthusiasm. And I once again thank all of the guest speakers for their sharing knowledge and experiences with us. We hope that each of the participants are blessed and well informed from today's lecture and discussion. But please stay with us because we still have a photo session after we close our event. Officially close our event, let's join together in prayer. Heavenly Father, with a grateful heart, we come to your presence. We thank you for the guidance and blessing that the Dies Natalis of Civil Engineering has been done well. May each lecture can equip us to grow more in our knowledge so that finally we can be impactful for others through what we do. We will now go back to each of our activities. Protect and lead us always. This we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. And that's it for today's event. Before we end our event, I want to invite all of the participants to put their camera on so that we could take a photo together as a memento. Please, the committee may help us in taking the photo.
Okay, thank you very much. I will, ladies and gentlemen, I will take a photo right now. I will take it several times, so please hold your pose for a while. Uh, I will take it in 1, 2, 3. I'll take it one more again. I'll take it in 1, 2, 3. One again. I'll take it in 1, 2, 3. One more in 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for all of the participant cooperation. Lastly, on behalf of all people behind the screen and the committees of Dies Natalis of Civil Engineering Department, I apologize if there are anything unpleasant in the heart of participants from today's event. It is a pleasure for me to be today's Master of Ceremony. I wish you all of you great health, good evening, and God bless you.
It's strange, I know, but I feel like you're here with me, like chasing ghosts. I know you're out there. Time is unfair, 'cause I know you're out there somewhere, patient, waiting unaware Feeling like your grip might slip too soon, but I'm running, chasing speed and gunning. I'll be right there all of a sudden. I feel your heartbeat lead me straight to you. It's strange, I know, but I feel like you're here with me. It's like chasing ghosts. I know you're out there. It's strange, I know.